Hi there. I've got another chapter for you from Through the Eyes of a Child. And this one is a rather sad story, but there was a lot of good in it too. So I'll tell it to you now. It's chapter 7, and the name is The Kobe Earthquake. And this story is just shortly after 17 January 1995 when the Great Hanshin earthquake happened. But here's what my daughter said about it. I noticed that my mom and dad seemed upset about something, but I didn't know that it had anything to do with the earthquake until later. Then I heard my mom on the phone making plans to go to Kobe, and it all sounded very serious. We never watched TV in our house, but twice I woke up late at night to the sound of the TV. Once I woke up crying because the announcer on the TV sounded like something really terrible had happened. When my mom heard me crying, she turned off the TV and helped me to get back to sleep. But by then I was really starting to worry. Whatever had happened, I sensed that my mom was going to be right in the middle of it soon, and it didn't seem that my dad or I were going with her. Then I started to get confused. I heard one of our students almost begging my mom not to go. She said that it is too dangerous. Another earthquake could hit at any time, or a building might fall on my mom. She said that it is so cold there that my mom would surely get sick. But then I heard another student say, "Wow, that is wonderful. I only wish that I could go with you." What the first student didn't know, though, was that my mom is specially trained in the handling of shock, trauma, illness, and injury. She's helped thousands of people over the years, and she knows that knowledge carries the responsibility of using it when it is needed. That night, my mom sat me down for one of our adult talks. She said that she knew it would be hard for me to stay back in Hiroshima without her, but that some people in Kobe needed help. I already know about the assists because anytime I get hurt or sick, my mom helps me the same way. My doctor is always happy to see how quickly my cold or fever goes away or my pain stops hurting. So I understood that she needed to go, and I said I'd try not to cry. I did actually cry a few times, but I got to talk to my mom on the phone every day. She could call me on the free phones that were being provided by the telephone company for use in Kobe. I heard Daddy telling someone that Mommy and her volunteer group were very cold and couldn't get such a good sleep because they woke up so often trying to get warm. The food was mostly bread and not much protein. They couldn't take baths either, but my grandpa is a mountain man, so my mom had lots of experience as a child camping out and surviving under unusual circumstances. They slept in the shelters with the people they helped. Sometimes someone would bring them a special treat like a cup of warm milk and a hot face towel or a bowl of miso soup or corn potage. One day, Mom got a yaki onigiri, which is a grilled rice ball, which really, she said, tasted so good. There wasn't much drinking water either, but the people were so grateful for the help that it didn't even matter. One of our students had just moved back to Kobe only days before the earthquake. He and his wife and their neighbors made up a huge pot of some kind of chicken and meatball dish and a huge pot of fresh green salad for the volunteers. He had to drive for many hours in very slow traffic to get to where my mom and her friends were working, but my mom said that fresh vegetables never tasted so good. Finally, my mom came home. She was very tired, hungry, and dirty, but she brought back several wonderful stories from the people she helped. Her group helped 5,000 people by the time all the group members were finished. My daddy left as soon as my mom came home, and then later my mom went again. She received a special letter from the Japanese Red Cross thanking her for her volunteer work in Kobe. I heard that there was one little girl who couldn't stop crying. Her mother was trying to cover her mouth so that she wouldn't bother other people. But my mom heard the cries from the school gym where she was working. My mom gave the little girl an assist to help unstick her attention from the horrible earthquake experience. It wasn't long before the little girl stopped crying and then started to play with the other kids. The little girl's mom was so thankful, and the next day she said that her daughter was still fine and hadn't cried since. Mom helped all ages of people, but I was especially happy that she was able to help children too. My mom's favorite memory is of the time when some people that they had been helping gathered around a campfire outside because they were finally able to safely light a fire. They invited my mom to join them. They all sat around the fire keeping warm, and the death and destruction that were only a few very short feet away seemed to be in another time and place. At that moment, in the warmth of the fire, were warm hearts that felt the joy of life itself more than ever. So that's the end of that story. And I have another one coming up for you soon. And that's about springtime, which is nice because we're walking into springtime right now here in Japan. All right, thank you so much.